Los Angeles, a dream city, and sparkling, known as the richest city 3 in the world and the most powerful and influential city of 5 in the world, in an instant turned into a terrible hell. The Red Devil danced wildly, licked the skyscraper building and luxury homes with a very brutal hell of the world that ransacked and devoured everything that was through, leaving a gripping trace of destruction. The blackened sky was filled with aircraft that dropped inhibiting materials and water to the burning hill, such as air battles against fire monsters. On Thursday, January 9th, 2025, the fire that was raising like a devil in Calabas and Hidden Hill, northwest of Los Angeles, devoured greedy more than 50 hectares of land in an instant. But that was only the beginning of the real nightmare. When wet was Hidden Hill, which initially only burned 50 hectares, now engulfed in an area of 960 hectares. Strong winds that blow up to 60 miles per hour to spread fire at a terrible speed. When wet was Hidden Hill, which initially only burned 50 hectares, now engulfed in an area of 960 hectares. Strong winds that blow up to 60 miles per hour to spread fire at a terrible speed. Firefighters with the remaining strength must try to overcome 5 hotspots. The fire, which originated from the Pacific Set, crept like a snake, spread west towards Malibu along the Pacific boarding house. The usually beautiful paths in an instant turned into a path to hell. This fire forced a large evacuation of more than 180,000 people on Thursday morning. They were forced to leave the house, property, and their memories. Earlier on Tuesday, the Red Devil had already devoured the area of I-10, burning more than 5,000 buildings, and changed it to ashes. Then to the west, in the Pacific, Paclicid Api spread to the settlement, eating 5,300. The building left the debris and sadness. The firefighters for soldiers who fought against monsters tried to die to extinguish the flames. But unfortunately, bad weather and brutal extreme climate change makes the fire more fascinating, sweeping whatever is in front of him. Now, almost the entire Los Angeles Raya region is hit by an uncontrolled fire tantrum for the 3rd day of the city and covered with thick smoke and panic. Now, almost the entire Los Angeles Raya region is hit by an uncontrolled fire tantrum for the 3rd day of the city and covered with thick smoke and panic. At least 5 people have been declared dead to be roasted in life in guessing this world, and unfortunately, this is just the beginning. Sheriff LaRobert Luna, in a trembling voice, estimates that the death toll will continue to grow like a sacrifice for a starving fire. The terrible fire of electricity and forest pole and a terrible fire monster recorded themselves as the most destructive fires in the history of Los Angeles. They have devoured nearly 28,000 hectares of land to change the environment that was once green into a sea of ash and direction. Thousands of buildings have been destroyed as a silent witness to the ferocity of the fire, and nearly 180,000 people were forced to evacuate, while the other 200,000 lived in the shadow of fear, waiting for their turn to be evacuated. The researchers even dared to say that this was the most detrimental fire in the history of the United States, with a loss of $150 billion. This figure destroys a record of $30 billion losses. This figure destroyed a record of $30 billion caused by fires in California and other fires in 2018. In the Pacific Belize, the luxury area where celebrities settled, a terrible view stretched out. In the Pacific Belize, the luxury area where celebrities settled, a terrible view stretched out. The magnificent house that used to stand firmly and as if without a gap is now only a scattered debris that is scattered. The electrical cable that was cut off was scattered on the streets. Among the cars left by the owner caught fire and melted. The aroma of thick smoke piercing the nose and strangling every novice residents who wear masks, roaming like ghosts in the city of dead, staring at the rest of their houses that have been destroyed. Strong winds have spread the fire in dry ground, loudly without Steth's rain during the month since Monday night. The fire has been raging without stopping, burning more than 11 square kilometers in the city. The historic parks of the state of Bill, Roger, and Sammy, which used to be beautiful tourist attractions, now only remain blackened debris. Mayor Los Angeles Grant Bus, with a tense face and a trembling voice, stated in a press conference that the worst disaster had not ended. Mayor Los Angeles Grant Bus, with a tense face and a trembling voice, stated in a press conference that the worst disaster had not ended. He begged everyone to remain vigilant because death was still lurking behind smoke and fire. Satellite imagery shows the unimaginable horror of the Pacific Palisades, who was once filled with houses. Luxury homes are now only in the form of a sea of Pacific Highway debris near Malibu, which is usually crowded, is now empty, covered with thick ash like the road to hell. Hollywood Hill, where Hollywood iconic symbols are also not spared from fire tantrums. Runyon Canyon and its surroundings that used to be green now turn to the ash of the road and the Marathon Road, which used to be where people exercise, are now filled with debris. Meanwhile, walk-off symbols of the entertainment industry is threatened by fire that continues to approach. Runyon Canyon and its surroundings that used to be green now turn to the ash of the road and the Marathon Road, which used to be where people exercise, are now filled with debris. Meanwhile, walk-off symbols of the entertainment industry is threatened by fire that continues to approach. Iton fire, one of the deadliest, has burned around 4,200 hectares. Here we satellites show a terrible destruction. More than 100,000 people lost their homes. Infrastructure has been destroyed. The electricity extinguished, leaving thousands of houses in the dark for days. This city, which was once a symbol of luxury and progress, is now very severe injured. The fire has claimed everything, starting from the life of property and hope. Los Angeles. The city of angels has fallen into hell created by himself. And now, thousands of Los Angeles residents who escaped from the fire seeking protection in temporary shelters, with a face filled with fear and uncertainty. Some Pacific residents of Palace ventured back to the destroyed area, only to find a chimney that stands upright on the debris that has been scorched and the burning vehicle. They are a silent witness of the mini doomsday who have hit Los Angeles, a city that is now grieving in ash, smoke, and hope. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.